Today we're going to look at proximity trigger events in Unreal. And these are events that trigger when the player comes within a certain distance of another actor, i.e. within its proximity range. And this can be used to trigger bombs from exploding, alarms from going off, doors from opening. So for many sort of game mechanics, which are a fundamental part of making any game. So today we're going to look at, first of all, how to explode this bomb when we come within a certain distance of it. So if we just open our blueprint, and this is just a very simple blueprint, it's just a static mesh with a explosion Niagara system on it. The easiest way of doing this would be just by comparing the distance between, say, our player character and this bomb, and if it was less than a certain distance, i.e. within a proximity, it would explode. So we could get our player character. There is a node which we can test called get distance to. So this will give the distance between two actors, and the other actor would be the bomb, which is our self. And we can just test to see whether this distance is less than a proximity that we want it to be. So let's say 300 units. We can branch on that. And if it is true, we can take our Niagara FX system and just activate it. So that should activate the explosion. Now we probably only want to do this once, because you'd most likely destroy the actor at the end of it. But just for test purposes, let's see how this works. So we go back to our level, we play, and as we come closer to it, at a certain point, it will trigger the explosion. So that's the simplest way of doing it. We can disconnect this. The other obvious way of doing it would be to add a collision of some sort, so an overlap box. So if you type add and you just type in collision, you have access to box collisions, capsule collisions, sphere collisions, and they all essentially work the same in that you would take advantage of the on-begin overlap. So if I add a box collision as an example, we could set the size of it, say maybe 300, 300, 150. And then if you right-click on the box itself, you have access to the events. And the one that we would be interested in is when the player begins to overlap with the box. So we can click on that. And again, using this, we can test to see if the other actor, so the actor that's doing the overlap, is equal to our get player character, or whichever actor you wanted to test against. Again, we can just branch. And if that is true, we can get our explosion Niagara system and activate it. So as you can see, this orange-yellow outline is the box. And when we come towards it and enter that box, it will trigger the explosion. You can have more than one proximity trigger in an actor. For instance, we could have a proximity trigger that first triggers the fuse, and then the box triggers the explosion. So how would we do that? So we can go back to our bomb, and we can add a sphere collision this time. This can be our fuse collision. And we can make that larger, say 600. And then we can right click on there and do an add-on component begin overlap. And again, the logic would be similar to this. So if we just copy this, So we'll check to see that the actor is the player character. We'll branch there. So we'll do the equal sign here for the player character. And instead of the explosion we'll use this fuse Niagara effect that we have. So we can drag that out, and we can put that in there. We compile, and now we can see that there are two collision boxes with the sphere being here. So now when we walk forward and we enter the sphere, it should start the fuse, and then when we carry on, we should get the explosion. So that's two ways of proximity trigger events. Now, if we consider a third option, so this one, for instance, if we just see what happens with this character, he is rotating with an eye that can look out for trigger events. So we could use a trace for our third approach. We could either do the trace from the player character to this leech actor, or we can do it from the leech actor to the player character, which would make more sense. So if we go to the BP leech that we've got here, our BP leech character is just a static mesh. There's a FX Niagara system on it, a rotating movement, and there is an arrow component here, so we know what the forward vector is. Now, the easiest way to do a line trace would probably be on the event tick function, because we want that to be done on every frame. So we can do a line trace by channel, connect that. The start location is, we would probably want to use the arrow as our start location. So we can say get world location, and that would be our start. We can then get the arrow's forward vector, and this we would multiply by a number, which would then be our proximity distance. So maybe put that 600. And if we then add these two together, that will be our end of the trace. We'll do this on the camera channel because that will hit the player. Put debug just for one frame. And for this test, we'll just see if there is a hit, because only the player should be hit. And if that's true, we can get our Niagara FX and we can activate it. We should check to see whether it is the player or not. So we should break this, otherwise it could hit almost anything. And just check if the hit actor is equal to get player pawn. And we can do another branch on this. And if that's true, it will activate the Niagara system. We can compile, and then we can go back to our main level. And if we play now, we should see that there is a line trace happening. And when it does hit us, it triggers the FX on the actual actor itself. So that would be a third way of using a proximity trigger event. We got the fuse, and we got the explosion, and then we have the line trace approach here. So those are three ways of proximity trigger events in Unreal.